I think I'm live. Let's see. Hello, guys. Welcome in. I did this live stream a little bit earlier, but I really wanted to interact with you. Hello, welcome in. This is for the woman who feels, this is for the woman who is a boss babe. She is, she doesn't really know how to let go of control, who she's always gotten whatever she desired. She's always, worked her way up. And whenever she gifts, and whenever she receives, sorry, she feels extremely uncomfortable. She sabotages the situation. And if this is one of you, this video is for you. If you are feeling like you need to earn whatever you want to receive, there is something else going on. There is a nervous system that's holding you back from, really enjoying receiving, really enjoying support, really enjoy money. So I thought I would do this video because I've been one of the persons and one of the type of woman who has learned to be vulnerable. And receiving feels vulnerable because it f- it has to do with surrender. It has to do with trust. It has to do with uncertainty. Unlike giving, you have all of the control. So I've been there. And I thought I would do this video because it's something that I've been working on for a long time. I'm not sharing this video from a place of, oh, I know it all. I'm still learning and I'm on the way. I'm a human. And I know I talk a lot about subjects of psychology and emotions and how to become your best self. And I really enjoy talking about them because I've really transformed the way that I am. I've learned to manage my emotions. I've learned to have a more positive outcome, a more positive result within my life. And I thought I would, shed some light on my past experiences. So that's why I'm being called to share this video. Hello, welcome in. Thank you for joining me. I'm super excited to be here. Um, so yeah, I mean, this is this video is meant for the woman who believes that even if she receives something, she believes that she has to do something in return. And essentially, let me tell you that that's a limiting belief that's stopping you from getting more things. That's a limiting belief from letting you enjoy what you are currently receiving right now. Every emotion holds a frequency, just like I said many times before. And however you're responding to the receiving, however you feel, maybe it's guilt, maybe it's doubt, maybe it's unhappiness. Whatever that emotion is, the first step to kind of rewiring that thing or stop sabotaging yourself is to notice. Once you take inventory, um, once you start to notice, then you can actually, rewire that mindset or that limiting belief. Like, oh, I'm receiving. Let me just enjoy and take in this comment or take in this gift or take in this money that I've just received. Thank you for letting me and allowing me to receive this. This belief that we have to do something in return is sabotaging, essentially. Okay. Let me know if this is resonating. We're gonna go back and like talk about why we have learned this mechanism. Our nervous system has learned to respond this way because maybe we earned love through proving. So maybe maybe when we were children, our perception of love was only earned through getting good grades or doing something right, or maybe being pleasing, or maybe um being accommodating to others. This is very common for women. It really depends what was your perception. Like it has to do with how you interpreted things as a child. So yeah. um so if we learned that we needed to earn love as an adult, I mean as a child, as an adult, we're still repeating the same patterns because even though this nervous system pattern that we've learned has made us great, because we've learned that we must work, we must work in order to earn money, right? um so the challenge, or the rewiring that you must do as an adult, is to acknowledge that you don't have to prove. I'm actually engaged. George Matthews is asking, what's it like being single at your age? I'm very happy. I'm engaged and I'm only 30 years old. I don't understand your question. Let go. This is actually for women, and if this is not resonating to you, yeah. John, I don't really understand your question. So, as I was saying before, it was that as we learn this nervous system patterns that we've created, like our personalities, is not serving us anymore. So we have to do something different. We have to like um change what we're doing essentially. Hello, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm so happy that you're here. Um and to continue the subject, I made some bullet points before I drift off, because I tend to, you know, I just want to stick on topic. But yeah, I welcome in any questions. Oh, and then I also wanted to invite you everyone to the masterclass that I'm hosting on June 30th, which is very exciting because we're talking about identity death and the rewiring of our emotions, and how being able to actually witness what you're feeling can actually make you level up. Essentially, so many, I've talked to many people and they're just like, but what do you really like? What's the result of this masterclass? Um, I have a course on the art of becoming, and essentially, I'm giving the framework of like the first steps that you need to do in order to get on this transformation work. And the first steps that you need to do is to notice the emotion. Like, let's go back. What is the result of this course that I'm doing? The course that I'm doing will be, it's not on a fixed result, is on many things. So it's essentially for your next level. When I started this transformation work, I wanted to get married. And I mentioned this earlier, but I wanted to come on here because I've never, gotten I've never come on live at this hour, and I really wanted to test it out and like see um what's up. And um the desire that made me want to start this transformation work was attract my divine union, like essentially attract my most aligned partner, like my soul partner. Like I really wanted to be in partnership and like be with someone who cherished me and loved me and like for who I am. Like I wanted to attract someone who had my same values, that aligned with my non-negotiables, a lot of this stuff. And then um even though I wanted to get married like 5 years ago, I since I saw that that wasn't happening right then, I was just like, okay, I'm not going to force anybody to get married because I know what I have. I know, like, I know that I want this, but right now I'm going to focus on what I need to do. What do I need to do? I need to get work done. I need to um, stop working like what I was doing. I was living in Miami alone, and I moved back with my parents to just focus on studying and do the stuff that you don't show the outside world. What is that? Study, read a bunch of books of psychology. I did courses on childhood wounds, on emotions. I did so much stuff for so long. And last year, my partner asked me to marry him, and I'm currently engaged, planning for a wedding. However, that's why I don't like advertise, oh, you're just gonna get money or you're just gonna get the man. Essentially, you can get whatever it is that you want, but you need to be so authentic and like really listen to what it is that you want. Because I might tell you, this is what I got, but that might be not the road for you. So, you have to be brutally honest within yourself and really ask the uncomfortable question, really look inside and notice what type of patterns, the nervous system, really go into the depths of what you've been through. And then you evolve. So that's the reason why I don't advertise just one thing, but just your next evolution. However, I'm doing the masterclass that is the framework of like the beginning of steps um, of this whole transformation journey. David asks, how do you know if it's the right one for marriage? So, first of all, you have to be so clear on what it is that you want. Like, you have to be clear. And if you say that you want, I always mention like respect, I always mention faithfulness, trust, a bunch of values that I have within me. You have to be so clear with what it is that you want and figure out if the other person has that. Because and it's not directly asking him whether he has those values, but it is watching with what he does, like watching his actions and figuring out if those, values are aligned. The like there are so many things that you have to put into consideration. And at the beginning, I was rotational dating. So I had my options open. However, out of that rotation, like I only stayed talking with one. So yeah. I'm super happy, and I'm like the amount of change I was able like the amount of change, transformation, and evolution that I had for myself is so insane. It's so unbelievable that and how can I explain it other than I was not able to communicate and have like a completely immersive conversation. Like I wasn't able to do that before. It was either I'm going to get it my way no matter what, and that's it. That's not what partnership is about. Like there are so many subjects. Um but anyway, yeah. Louise says, I'm about to marry someone who doesn't bother to think about her goals or future. She just wants me, but I want to be a power couple. How old are you? I think being driven, it's very important in a relationship. And if someone is not showing you what you want, don't expect them to change. Like someone might be inspired for you, like for a few moments, but that person has to change for themselves, not for someone else, if that makes sense. Um, you might be an inspiration and like inspired, to be more, but if she on her own doesn't aspire to have goals, maybe I don't know what to say about that. Yeah, I've been told my voice is soothing. Thank you for your compliment, Creeper 11. That's your username. Yes, ask me the question. We were talking about why receiving feels scary, receiving feels vulnerable, and it is because um we don't think that we're worthy for those. This video is essentially for women, so if you're not a woman, I don't know what you think about this. However, if you're a woman and you're watching this, you might believe that you don't think that you're deserving of that gift. So you might stay in this state of vigilance, in this state of like, oh, what does he want in return? In this state of, if he's going to do this, or if she's giving me this, what am I gonna have to give back? Okay, so David says, do you think you have ever had any general low self-esteem? 1000%. And inner authority, I talk a lot about this actually, but inner authority and also confidence, security within yourself. I think all those three like are enmeshed together. So building that has been beautiful. However, I haven't always been this person who I am today, like confident. Um, I generally think that everyone can make their self-esteem higher, their confidence higher, and also their inner authority. So I think I like break down this three because one is like the audience that you have in your brain, and you can easily take steps into fixing your audience in your mind, because that's the kind of like the inner voice that you have right now that's making you or not making you do something. So if you've in the past said something and not follow through, the audience in your mind is going to be like, oh, you see, I knew you weren't able to do it. Whereas if you've been in the situation where you've kept your word and you are like, yeah, I'm gonna do this and then I'm gonna make it happen. I don't know how I'm gonna make it happen, but I'm just gonna get this shit done. Um, your audience, you're going to have like a very strong audience in your mind, no matter how hard the goal is or whatever you think you want, you're gonna make that happen. And that has to do with inner authority, confidence, and self-esteem. And a lot of that has been built. It has not like it's not a like a one day type thing. Yes, I speak Spanish. Hola. Hi, welcome in. No, I've haven't had a black eye recently. um but anyway, I let's see if we've covered what I wanted to cover. Let me know who in the chat, who from the people that are watching right now is interested in the subject that I'm talking about. Let me know if you've been in, like, if you are resonating with not being able to receive. Oh, it's because of the light, but like the light is too bright. That's why I moved it. Hello, welcome in. Okay. Um, hello, welcome in. Um, yeah, to finish the thought is what I meant to share is that if you are this type of boss babe, boss woman, there's a lot of characteristics between, that type of woman. And one of them is being uncomfortable whenever we receive gifts, whenever we receive money, whenever like it might be exciting for 1 second, but then you're going to have this type of belief that I have to do something because this person gave me this. It's not genuine happiness or joyfulness that I'm receiving fully with my heart, this object that I'm receiving. That's what I wanted to bring to light, uh, because I've been this overachiever my life. Um, so essentially, my nervous system learned to that I needed to earn my worth, earn my prove my worth. Like I couldn't just be pretty because in my childhood I learned that I needed to prove my worth, and I needed to earn whatever it is that I wanted. So this type of woman, this type of overachiever, this type of overthinker, maybe controlling, is essentially like having a deeper wound that she believes that she's unworthy. um I talk more about this, and it's really interesting when you figure it out, like by yourself and on your own, maybe journaling or stuff like that. But I thought I would share that because I've been learning to do it for 2 years, and it hasn't been like an easy route. It's been uncomfortable. However, it's been very fulfilling and very joyful for me, not having been that experience before. So it's almost learning how to trust, learning vulnerability, learning to be in the unknown, and being accepting of what's happening. So it's like a deeper uh, feelings and of everything. Wait, there's like a few things. I'm going to go over your questions. But I really wanted to answer this question that this person said. One question: if a 6 feet tall, 200 pounds, blessed, am I an ideal man? I think looks can only get you so far. Like, if people are basing off their their worth with looks, I'm sorry, but this is not the channel for you. Like finding a divine partner, finding someone who really will fulfill you, it's way more than just looks. Like, that's not, I don't, that's just not even in the list of what I wanted to find my divine union. Whenever I found my partner, like I didn't have looks involved. So for some women might be, you know, essential, but I think we're losing the bigger picture. We're forgetting what we're meant to look for. Um, I'm speaking to women. This video is for women. David says, okay, David says, I congratulate you because your level as a woman is feminine, not masculine, which is vital for the growth of your relationship with your current partner. You will make a wonderful husband and wife. Thank you so much for your comment. I really appreciate it because I had to really learn to tune into that femininity for without forgetting the masculinity. I love both energies, and both bring, different flavors to different stuff that I do. And I would not have it any other way. Thank you for your comment. Um the last question I don't really understand. monk man. It's in your heart to understand if you're finding to your truth person. I don't really understand your question. If you can rewrite it, I would love to answer it. Um, but yeah, that is all that I wanted to say today. And I would love to invite you to the masterclass that I'll be hosting. I always mention that my content is for women, but like I feel like if you're a man and you feel called to listen to the content, you're welcome. Like I'm never gonna shut the door on someone. But if this is resonating or maybe you're just curious, you're welcome to join the room. And if you're interested, the invitation for the masterclass is on the description box. I'm going to talk about the rebirth of the identity, on like how to notice um your nervous system, what patterns you have, why your emotions holding us back, and how we can walk an aligned path with our actions instead of sabotaging ourselves. That's what I'll be talking about in just a few days. In June 29th, I'll be sending out an email and a reminder for June 30th because I'll be hosting the masterclass here. Okay. Dino says, I need experience to get your number. I I didn't really understand the question. I think you're getting me wrong. Joe says if he looks like Quasimodo, you wouldn't care. That's funny. But I think beauty has to do with what you have inside as well. So I don't know if I might be biased, but even though I'm not like currently looking, like I never was looking for something specific. That's what I meant to say. Like wasn't looking for uh someone with 6 feet tall. Like that's what I mean. Like I didn't have specific characteristics in my least list. More or less had values that I wanted to find in my divine partner, in my fiance. That's what I meant to say. Why do you think I'm rude? Do you know? Let me know. I would love to know your perspective. Like why? That's interesting. Nobody has ever, maybe when I was like unaware. Um Monk man. My name is Norman from Calgary, Alberta in Canada. We love your videos. Thank you so much for watching. Welcome in. Thank you for watching. Vern says, Vern, not here, says, are you a psychologist or a psychiatrist? I'm none, but I've studied so much about psychology. What does psychologists study? Emotions, how our brain works within that area of emotions. How do we store them? Where do we store them? In our past experiences. So I've studied a lot about that. Yeah, I don't know where people are calling me that. So anyway, um, thank you so much for watching me, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye.